All right, here we go. It's another edition of Rock Talk with Bob Bannister. Joining me this time around from Kingston, Ontario, as Don Cherry would say, a good Kingston boy, Matt Hughes. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Bob. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you here, and always great to promote Canadian talent. So
Oh,
tell
we,
us,
we appreciate it.
who is Matt Hughes?
Oh boy, today, uh, oh, I've been today. I'm just really hot because my apartment here is like 84 degrees and wow, it's stifling. But I guess I can sum up my career. I suppose I started playing drums around when I was 12 years old, and I've been playing drums and guitar in various bands throughout the years. It's been about 30 years or so. And I've just been a musician my whole life, basically. And just in the last, I don't know, 10 or so years, I've been putting out my own material and just trying to grow a fan base and just, working at it slowly while, playing in my local area and a little bit down in the US and just being involved in various projects. But and during 2020, I just like the whole world shut down, but I just ended up making I went into a big, like, I've always recorded local with my friends or the local
Right.
recording studios, and I've always kind of dreamt of, what would it be like to record in a real, multi-million dollars studio. So I wrote a bunch of songs, and I ended up going up to Toronto in to Revolution Recording, and I recorded an entire album of 10 songs, just me and my producer and engineer Stu Young, who's worked with everybody in Canada. If you look him up, L Stu Young, he's amazing.
Yeah, that's a
And
pretty big name.
yeah, and so I did 10 songs, and basically just been releasing a single at a time, and it's been pretty good. I've been really working the social media and just giving it my all, trying to kind of learn how to market properly online. So, and finding people like you guys to spin my music is like really super appreciative. It's great. There's been a lot of people that have been supporting me, and so yeah, I'm just kind of on this little journey here, maybe hoping to maybe get a breakout at some point. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. But it's got to enjoy the process, I suppose, right? So I mean, and I financed the whole thing myself as well, so it was, I wanted to put out the whole album at once, like, and put out everything at
Mhm.
once, but it just kind of didn't work out that way. I just been doing it slowly, and because when we recorded it, it's like I had an idea of what I wanted in my head to sound like, and me and my producer Stu, we kind of worked together, and we've been sculpting the sound. Like, I wanted a big sound, um, kind of like, bands like Eclipse. They got that real big giant sound, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was going for. And Stu, he goes like even further than that. Like, he gives me a real analog sound. Like, I find a lot of bands, they have that real process kind of sound, and some of it sounds good, but I just like what Stu's been able to do with it. And yeah, so it's been working out so far.
And I,
So
and
I
I,
hope
and I
that
have
kind
to
of
say,
sums it up.
you hit on something right there, the analog sound. When I first heard Firewoman, your latest single, which by the way is on our top 20 poll for the
Oh,
CGCM Rock Radio Top 20 Countdown, it's gaining a lot of traction there, which is awesome. Anyway, back to my main point. When I first heard it, it's like, wow, this song is straight out of the 80s. It's got that really great hook, that groove, and it sounds analog, which is awesome. I love it.
yeah, 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 everyone kind of says I have that 80s sound, I guess. I can't help it. It's just what comes out. But yeah, it's got that real analog, natural tones, because the studio that I recorded in was it's all, if you look up Revolution Recording Studio in Toronto, it's all beautifully, wood studios, and I don't know, they're just the sound of the rooms are just, they're very warm, and yeah, it just turned out sounding pretty good. So, but yeah, I'm glad that it's gaining some traction on your station. That's awesome. My thumbs up to everybody listening to it. I really appreciate it.
And Take Me Higher is still on the countdown too. I believe
Is it?
it's number 15 this time
Oh,
around,
sweet. Yeah, that's
and
that's great.
still getting voted on. So you know what? I think this time around in June, because our countdown only goes once a month. In June, Matt, you're going to have two songs on the top 20.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not to let the cat out of the bag too much.
Yeah. No,
But
that's great. Appreciate it.
and what does your creative process look like? Like, is it one of those things where you're driving down the road and you get an idea, so you got to pull over and write it down on a napkin or an envelope, or
Yeah, I have one song called "Make Love Not War." I did a few years ago, and I wrote that. I had it like sometimes I'll have a melody in my head that I don't even realize is happening. It happens all the time, and it's like I have to catch it and say, "What is that?" So like "Make Love Not War." I actually had to go down. I was at work, and it was in my head at work, and I actually had to run. This is before I had cell phone and everything, and I ran down and hummed it into my voice message at home. So when I got home, I sound like a like a serial killer. And there's another song I had like called "Should Have Known You Better," and I had that riff just going on in my head while I was doing dishes one night, and I re recorded the riff. Like there's been songs I've dreamt the riff, and they just kind of come to me like yesterday I had a riff going on in my head, and like I have tons of files with just various riffs, and then sometimes people ask me, how did you write that song? Or it's like sometimes I don't even remember how I wrote it. It just snowballs. But sometimes when I get on a roll and when I'm writing a song, it actually becomes torture because it won't stop in my head until I'm finished the song. Like I'll be at work on my break humming stuff on my phone, and I'm working out parts in my head. I'm writing the song in my head like a lot of the time, and I'm trying to like, was this work? And then I'll record it at home and I'll listen back, and it can be actually a really excruciating, painful process to tell you the truth. But I just until I'm like, I think John Lennon said that he does that too. Like he did that with songs. Like he basically, they get you up in the middle of the night, and it's like you basically just you beat them to death until you've tried every little thing you can think of with it, and then sometimes you just got to go with something and just roll with it. And then something, and the songs that you might not like, everyone else loves, and the songs that you think are your best, that's like nobody's like, that's okay, so it's and for me it's like I just I just sometimes I get frustrated. It's like, pack it in and quit, and just I just can't seem to quit. So I just keep going with it. So, and it's been getting some good results. These last couple these songs that I've recorded recently I think are my best songs I've done so far. But I haven't written anything else in the meantime because it's just when I get into a song, it's like I'm like in full tilt, and it's like it just consumes me. So yeah, that's kind of my creative process.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I handle a lot of the creative IDs and stuff like that for CGCM Rock Radio, and I'll be the same way. I'll be at work and I'll be like, oh wait a minute, that's kind of funny. I'm gonna write that down so I don't
Yeah,
forget it, or go up on break and type it into my phone and save it, and then go from
yeah,
there. You know,
yeah. That's a great thing about cell phones is you can just record anything into your phone, and like versus like calling your answering machine at home, or writing it down on paper. So it's just so much easier these days to do that.
that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. So you've mentioned about working with your producer there. Is there anybody else that like who is your dream collaboration? Who would that be with?
um
You can pick anybody out of the music universe.
well, for this new album that I recorded a cover of Sammy Hagar's Heavy Metal.
Oh,
um
great song.
and for that I recruited Matt Starr, who was formerly the drummer for Ace Frehley and Mr. Big, and who is it? Like I was getting some coaching for him, and so I recruited him for the drums, and I got Sean McNabb from Dokken and Quiet Riot and Lynch Mob, and he was on bass. And they got Tashi Yanagi from Jimmy Kimmel's live band, and we did that song together, and that just came together, and that was really exciting for me. I thought it was really great because I was playing with really pro players, and it just came together, and that's as far as like having like a dream. I mean, there's so many people, but really my dream people to work with are musicians that just really have their shit together, and who really know their stuff, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I've been at this a long time, and I just like working with people who just really are really great at their instrument. I mean, I would. It's really hard to say. I mean, of course, I'd love to work with Ozzy or you know somebody like that. That'd be amazing. But just yeah, just really pro players, and I don't know. That's kind of what I'm trying to aim to as well with my music is just getting to a level where I'm just surrounded by people like that. It's people at that higher level that are playing on those big stages. I mean, I've been at this a long time, and it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I played a lot of gigs. I paid a lot of dues. I've been through hell and back. If you listen to the song "Long Way to the Top" by AC/DC, I have lived every line of that song, and I just kind of feel like I have to keep going, I guess. But I don't know if that kind of answers your question, but yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a lot there. I got a lot there. A lot of people see me and they think, oh, he's all quiet and everything, and he's never done. Do you ever have fun? It's like I got a lot of stories. You have no idea of the shit crap that I've been through in my life. So I mean, I've been through a lot of things that have kind of led up to this part. My life kind of fell apart when I was 19, and I
Right.
had to kind of pick up the pieces and rebuild everything. I went back to school. I moved to a new city. I got a university degree, and then I finally got and then this was all while I was playing music. Like I would be in hotel rooms studying on the weekend when the guys would be partying down the hall. I'd be studying for my exams. I was like, no, not partying, nothing. It's like I've had a few mountains I've had to climb, through the years. So, and I'm at a good place now, and hopefully I can take it higher soon as well. And people like you guys playing my music is just kind of the icing on the cake. So it's
And
great.
speaking of your music, do we have a release date tentative for your album?
Oh man, like I said, I wish I had have released everything at once, but I'm just releasing a single at a time right now, and I'm financing everything myself. So I've got another song coming out soon as well. I did 10 songs for the album, and the next one will be the eighth. So
Mm,
I imagine the whole thing will be online
right.
digitally, and then when I can kind of, muster up the money or whatever to actually put it out on vinyl, that's kind of that's a dream of mine as well to have it out on vinyl. But
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I spent a lot of money I put a lot of money and time into this album, so that was kind of my goal with this too. I didn't want to cut any corners.
Mhm.
I didn't want to just leave something and think, oh, that's good enough. That's kind of another reason why I'm taking my time with it, because I've never done anything on this level before. So it's like, if I'm going to put out something, it's going to be the absolute best that I can do, or I'm not putting it out basically. So,
And
so
you
who
know what?
knows? Maybe,
That's a really good mindset to be in. Do it the best you can. Otherwise, yeah,
yeah.
don't do it at all. But you've mentioned you're releasing songs single by single. I'm seeing a lot of artists doing that nowadays. I
Mhm.
have talked to several people, and they're the same way. Oh, here's a song here, here's a song here. It just seems to be the way.
Yeah.
Do
It
you think
it is
that's
the way.
is that the 21st century way of doing things now?
I think it is for a lot of more independent artists. It is like, because like I try to learn from a lot of people online that coach about marketing, and they're basically saying the album is dead. I mean, unless you're like an already big established artist, someone like me, it's more in my best interest to release a single at a time and develop a fan base versus somebody like Eclipse or Dokken who already has a big fan base. So if I release an album, it's like, okay, some people heard it. Okay, now I got to do another album. Versus if I do a single at a time, I can put everything I've got into it and build it up, kind of thing. And that's what they say the thing to do these days is for the smaller independent artists. So
It's good advice.
yeah,
Absolutely. Now let's get into a little bit of the fun side of the interview here. Um, what's Everybody's got one guilty pleasures album that they have in their collection, and somebody will come over and they'll be looking through your music and they'll go, you have this. Like, what's your guilty pleasures album? I mean, I've got to say, mine would be probably Crimes of Passion by Pat Benatar. I absolutely
oh, that's
love that
awesome.
album.
Yeah,
I
oh,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
her and Neil Girardo are just like the perfect pair.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I grew up with all that stuff as well, right? Sitting with your tape recorder, listening to the radio, hitting
Uh-huh.
record to catch that song. I mean, I used to be embarrassed about my guilty pleasures, but these days it's like like I used to be embarrassed about listening to Journey or the Bee Gees, but I mean, like the
Mm,
Bee Gees are like my heroes. I mean, my biggest heroes for singing are have to be Daryl Hall from Hall and
right.
Oates
Yeah.
and Steve Perry. I mean, back in the day, I'd be afraid to say that, but I guess you could say those are kind of some of my guilty pleasures. I mean, I heard a rap song today. I'm not really a rapper, and it was going off in my head, and I had to listen to it, and it's like I kind of like that, and I was like, that's kind of bad. I'm not a rap guy. I mean, I love 99 Problems by Jay-Z. I'm trying to accept that stuff. Then that song was killer. But yeah, I guess some of the softer stuff, John Denver, I suppose, might be a guilty pleasure. That stuff is, David Soul. I was watching
Oh
David
yeah.
Soul today. So
Nice.
because I watch all the classic crap at night. I got Starsky and Hutch. I got Incredible Hulk. I still watch everything from my childhood because it was great stuff. It's still great.
I have a DVD collection of uh, Midnight Special.
And oh,
I love
awesome!
that
That's some
show.
of the best performances ever. I mean, like
Yes,
amazing. I mean,
absolutely.
that's what I'm into, the musicianship, the quality of the band, right? And that's all that stuff was.
Yeah,
So
for me too. And it's Wolfman Jack. You know,
love
my
that, yeah.
ultimate hero. I mean, there's Wolfman Jack, there's Shotgun Tom Kelly, and Dr. Johnny Fever.
Oh yeah, I got that too. Yeah, that's just the best stuff. I mean, because it was so new for the time, right? I guess, and
Yes.
everything's been kind of done today. I can't get into the pop stuff today. Like after you've grown up with the best music, I find it hard to get into Taylor Swift. It's like it doesn't compare to Led Zeppelin and all that great music that we grew up with. But I try to still listen to it if I can. I try to not shut myself out. I had a Taylor Swift song in my car a little while ago. I mean, I eventually took it off, but I'm trying to be open to it.
I have to admit, in a previous iteration, a previous life in my radio career, I worked for a country music station and took some fans to see Taylor Swift in Toronto.
Yeah,
Left with
sure,
a
it
bit
was
of a
amazing.
migraine.
It gave you a migraine?
Well, not the music. The music side was great. She put on a fantastic show.
Yeah, oh
It
yeah.
was all the young
Oh
preteen
yeah.
girls screaming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be hard. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's wrap things up here with a little bit that I like to call this or that. I'm going to give you a couple choices and just rapid fire. Just shoot me back the first answer that comes to mind. All right.
All right.
Just start it off. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Timmy's or Starbucks?
Probably Timmy's. Yeah.
There you go. Good Canadian boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Summer or winter?
Oh, summer.
Club gig or festival stage?
Oh, festival stage, no question.
Beach or amusement park?
Amusement park
There
with
you go.
classic video games. Yeah.
Absolutely. And finally, pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Good. Yeah. A little bit of bacon on there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Matt, want to thank you for joining us here on CGCM Rock Radio and Bob's Rock and Talk. Give us your socials. Where can people find out more about you?
Well, I do have an official website. It's kind of the home base of MattHughesOnline.com. But if you just even Google me, Matt Hughes music on Google, like all of my fodder will come up. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know I think it's like Matt Hughes Rocks or something. I can't remember exactly, but I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, all YouTube. I have a YouTube channel at Matt Hughes Rocks. So I'm pretty easy to find. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us here, Matt. It's been an absolute pleasure and look forward to more stuff from you.
Thanks so much, Bob. I appreciate it. Take care.